Hey guys, welcome to another Reaper blog tutorial. Today we're going to look at what's new in Reaper 5.23. Not everything, just the top 10 or so best new changes in Reaper 5.23. It's a fairly small update. There's not a lot of exciting things, but there are some good, very useful things. Let's start off with the action move position of item to edit cursor. It now uses the snap offset for the item. So I have this assigned to the letter Y, so if I click the item to select it, I go over here to move my cursor, press Y, it's going to snap there. And do you guys know about snap offsets? It's this little line in the corner of the item. You can drag the left corner to anywhere you want, or you can use an action. I use Control comma to move the snap offset to the cursor. So this is great for spotting sound effects to specific frames. For aligning multiple mics, you can kind of tab to transient, drop in your snap offset, and then either quantize or snap to the cursor. And it's a really, really fast way of working. So I've got my snap offset here, and now when I use that action, move position of item to edit cursor, it's going to snap at the snap offset. Okay, now we're going to look at the auto backups. We can now set a relative path for auto backups rather than choosing one specific folder for things. So we can now keep our auto backups with our project folders, and it's nice and organized. So all you have to do is just type in a name like backup and hit apply, and now Reaper will save its auto backups for this project in its project folder. Related to that, we have a new option of relative paths for the output directory. As you can see here, this is going to my documents folder. That's not where I want to save my export, so I can just clear that, make it blank, and we'll put it into the same folder that the project is saved to, which means that it's going into this current projects, new in 5.23, and then it has the name. We can also enter anything we want to create a new folder. So we can call this exported, and then it makes a new folder starting off in the current projects folder. Next up is the big clock. We can now put in an image and even a animated GIF for the visual clock. So let's open up the big clock from the view menu. So usually it's set to the ruler time unit, so it looks like this. We can set this to beats visual click. It flashes as it plays back, so I'm going to turn on the click. You can customize the colors. Set this to red, looks like this. And we can choose an image. I'm going to grab this picture, and now it's overlaid on top. And this can be an animated image. You can just choose the length, 4 beats, whatever you want. So that's the big clock with the visual click track. Next big change is importing of MusicXML files. So if you are writing music in a notation editor like I think MuseScore or even Sibelius should work, if you can export a MusicXML file, you can bring that into Reaper now. So you can now import and export MusicXML files. All right, let's look at automation. There's now an action to clear the track envelope latches. So let's say I have this automation here, and I want to do some latch preview mode automation. I move this down, I'll turn off the click. So you can see this is latched, but if I don't want to write the automation, I want to clear it, I could set my automation mode to none, but I want to do it without stopping playback, things like that. So I can now clear track envelope latches. I run that, and it undoes that change. Another great addition to the automation workflow. I'm a huge fan of the latch preview mode. As I explained in 2 videos last month, it's absolutely the best automation mode for working within selections. And these actions make it a lot simpler. You can now cancel your latch preview changes without leaving that mode. Let's have a quick look in the MIDI editor. In the default MIDI editor toolbar, we now have this step sequencing mode toolbar button. So now that feature is more visible. A lot of people didn't know that it existed. Now we have it on the main toolbar, ready to go. Speaking of toolbar buttons, we now have some automation toolbar buttons, specifically the preview automation, this one here. If you just type in ENV, you should get a bunch of different envelope ones. I believe these are the old ones, and these are the new ones here. In the plugin ReaComp, we can now do over 150 decibels of gain reduction. So if you set your ratio at infinity and you set your threshold at -infinity, you're going to get a ton of gain reduction. You can put on the auto makeup gain, and it will get super loud and super crunchy and distorted, and possibly sound great, probably sound horrible. But now you can use this as a brick wall limiter. It should not let any peaks through. The last feature I want to show you is related to video. And if you have images on your project timeline, they will now auto-crossfade. You do need to have the video processor on the track to make this work, but it should make editing with images in your timeline a lot simpler. So I'm going to grab this nice picture of Sylvia Massey. I don't have the plugin on the track yet, so it's going from the Reaper blog logo over to the Sylvia Massey photo, and it's just a hard cut. Grab the video processor plugin, drop it on the track, and then you're going to choose the Item Fades Effect Video preset. And now if we play this back, it's going to have a smooth transition between the two. And you can make this as long or short as you want. And it's just going to have a nice clean dissolve between the two images. And that's it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed what's new in Reaper 5.23. You can go to the Reaper website or check your help menu and this changelog option to find all the details of what is changed in this version. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I'm also on Patreon if you want to support the website with a monthly donation. And please visit reaperblog.net for a lot more tutorials.